Hello everyone. So we are now with your fifth assignment for the Alamo Lab, and this assignment will be based on dynamic programming. Okay. So a few instructions for the assignment. Please make sure you read this carefully. So apart from this PDF file, we will also give you a text file input.txt. You should use that. I'll give you more instructions about that in the assignment. Please ensure that you are using the format for submission. So that is the same format, but use A5 for the current assignment number. And in this assignment, you have to actually use file reading writing. Okay. So this input.txt file, you will have to read using the file handling APIs in C or C++. Okay. And please stick to the file formats, and you only have to submit a single C file, no need to zip. And there are other things that you can have a look. So now let me come to the actual problem statement. So what is your problem? So think about a scenario. So you have recently joined a chemistry lab, and what they are doing, they are leading a research on a system which consists of a sequence of independent and essential chemical reactions. So they have quite a few chemical reactions, and you can think of each as they being independent, but they are all essential for that system. Now, what the researchers of the lab have done, so they have discovered a unique catalyst, okay, and can be included in any of the reactions of the system. So the system has multiple reactions. Now the same catalyst can be used in any of the reactions. Now the use of catalyst enhances the rate of the reaction and hence its probability of success also. So now what you are seeing, you have a system which has some reactions. So reactions 1, reaction 2, and so on. Now each of the reaction has a probability of success. And what you know right now, you have a catalyst, the same catalyst that can work for all the reactions. And if you can use the catalyst, it enhances the rate of the reaction, the probability of success. Now, what they have also proven, that the probability of success for a given reaction, that depends on the usage of the catalyst. And that is typically expressed in the number of units that are involved. So the catalyst, think of the catalyst as coming into units. So you can use 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units, and so on of the catalyst. And what they have seen, the more the quantity or units of the catalyst that they use in the reaction, the probability of success increases or remains the same. Okay, but it never decreases. So you can think of it as if the probability of success is not non-decreasing with the number of units. So it can happen, for example, if I'm using 1 unit for reaction 1, if I'm using 1 unit of catalyst, my probability of success is 0.2, but if I use 2 units, then it becomes 0.4. And if I use 3 units, suppose it remains the same, but it never decreases and so on. So they have found that connection, that if I use multiple units, what will be the probability of success? And it is always non-decreasing. So this is the probability of success of each reaction. Okay, like that they can define it for all the reactions, reaction 2 and so on. And now comes the probability of success of the system. The probability of success of the entire system is the product of the probability of success of the individual reactions. So suppose by some assignment, say reaction 1 has a probability of success 0.5, reaction 2 has 0.9, and suppose there are only 2 reactions, so you can say the probability of success of the entire system is 0.45, just the product of the success of the individual reactions. So now you can, okay, that is fine. You can just say, okay, fine, because it's non-decreasing, I can just find out what is the maximum number of units I am allowed to use for a reaction. because that will give me the maximum probability. Use that for all the reactions. And that should maximize the probability of success for the system. That looks trivial. But now there is a constraint, there is an optimization problem. So the optimization comes from the fact the catalyst that you have is only limited. You don't have an infinite quantity of catalyst. You have only a limited quantity, number of units. So you can say I have only 3 units of catalyst, only 3 units, for example. Or you can say I have 10 units. Some number of units are limited. So I'm not allowed to use, say, 15 units in each of the reactions. I cannot do that because they are limited. Now, given the limited quantity of the catalyst, obviously the researchers would want to maximize the success of the entire system. So now that's where they need your help. So as an expert in algorithms, what you have to do, you have to find out how can they maximize the success probability of the system with the constrained amount of catalyst. Okay, and for that you have to give a dynamic programming solution for the problem. So how can you use dynamic programming to find out what would be the appropriate assignment of the catalyst such that you get the maximum probability? And you should use dynamic programming. Do not use memoization, that has also been taught. So what will be given to you in this problem? So you'll be given n reactions. So reactions are 1 to n. So reaction 1 to reaction n. And what is also given to you, you have to complete all the reactions. So all of these need to be completed for the successful completion of all of the system. That means in the system there are n reactions and all have to be completed. Now, what is also given to you, there are a total of C units of catalyst. C greater than equal to. And the same catalyst can be used, same unit can be used in all the reactions. Yes. Now, with that, you also need to know, okay, what is the probability of success of reaction 1 if I take only 1 unit of catalyst or 2 units of catalyst. So that is also given to. So the formulation is EKP. So EKP tells you, so where K is the reaction and P is the unit of catalyst. So it tells you what is the probability of success of reaction K if P units of catalyst are used. Okay. And what is given to you about EKP? So that is EK0 is 0. So for any reaction, if you do not use any catalyst at all, its probability of success is 0. So that, and now because you have to complete all that piece, you have to use at least 1. So you have to use at least 1 unit of catalyst for each of the reaction. So that is why the C greater than equal to n helps. So that means you have sufficient units so that you can use at least 1 for each of the reaction. Now, as also mentioned in the problem earlier, so for each reaction K, so EKP values are non-decreasing. So as you increase P, so they never decrease. So chance of success never decreases if more units of catalyst are assigned to the reactions. Now, what is your task? You need to find an assignment of the C units of catalyst to the n reactions so that the probability of success of the system is maximized, right? And of course, you can use a brute force approach. You can try out all possible assignments and see which one gives the maximum probability, but that is not an efficient way. You have been taught dynamic programming and you should use dynamic programming to solve this. So what exactly we need you to write in your code? First of all, now this part is slightly different from earlier assignments. You should be very careful in writing as comments in the beginning of your program. What is your solution to the dynamic programming? So what do we mean by that? What are the sub-problems that you choose? What is your sub-problem? So define your sub-problem. Remember, if you have to design a dynamic programming solution, you need to tell what is your sub-problem and what is your recurrence relation. what is the recursive formulation that you are using in the DP solution. And there you also talk about the base case. And do not use lengthy text for this, just use notations that we are also showing you here. You can also define some brief notations in the comments and describe this. We don't want you to write long sentences. And if you do that, so this is not involving any coding. If you do that, you will already achieve partial marks from this. Now this is only in text, you will tell this is my solution for any program. Now this is very important. We need this to understand what is your solution that you are proposing. And there are marks assigned for this. Now once you have done that, now you will go for the actual code. So in the actual code, now you have to write a single main function. So write a single main function to implement this algorithm. Now, what will be the input file? So input file will contain the following information. So first line will contain number of reactions like here. So you see a format of input file. So this is telling you what are the number of reactions. So in this case, there are 3 reactions of the system. Now second line reads C. That is what are the number of units of catalyst that you have. And you can assume C is greater than or equal to N, no need to check. You can always assume that this will be given. So this is the number of units of the catalyst. And then following this, as you know, you need to have this EKB values. So you will be given a 2D array of size. So there are 3 reactions and 5 units of catalyst. So there will be a 3 cross 5 matrix for each reaction. So this will be given for the system. So for each reaction, what will be the probability of success with 1 unit of catalyst, say 0.1, 0.3 with 2 units, 0.5 with 3 units, and so on. And you see this is non-decreasing. And that is also, you can assume it's given to you. It's non-decreasing. You don't have to check. So this is all the information that is given to you. And now what is your task? You see, you have to find out an assignment that gives you the maximum probability. So for example, I cannot say all the 5 units are assigned to one of this, say the third reaction, because I need at least 1 assignment to each of the reactions. So this cannot be a possible solution. This will be 0.9 times 0 times 0, the probability of system 0. But suppose you take an assignment like I assign 2 units for reaction 1, 2 units for 2, and 1 for 3. You can find a probability. So for 2 units, it is 0.3, 0.2, and 0.2. So 0.3 into 0.2 into 0.2, and this will give you 12 into 10 to the power minus 3. That will be the probability. That is one assignment. Now you have to find which assignment gives you the maximum probability of success. So use your dynamic programming algorithm to find that, and then this is what you have to print. And this you have to print in a sample, as we have shown in the sample output file. So you have to print first of all, what is the probability of success. So this is the maximum value as per your dynamic programming algorithm. Okay, and you have to also tell what is the assignment of catalysts in units to each of the reaction. That is, how many catalysts did we assign to each of the reaction? Like here, reaction 1 was assigned 2 units, reaction 2 was assigned 2 units, and reaction 3 was assigned 1 unit. And that is what you need to also print. And this is how your output file should look like. And this you have to actually print in a file, not on the terminal. So finally, you have to submit. I'm sorry, you don't have to submit the file, but in your final code, you should be creating an output.txt file. Okay. So there are again a few notes about this. So it may happen that there are more than one assignment that gives the same maximum probability. So it may happen that an assignment like 2, 2, 1 gives you the same probability as 1, 2, 2. That is very likely. So that is all right. You have to give one of those assignments, and that if that is correct, you will be given full marks. And we are not asking you to write any separate function. So just use a single main function and do the file reading there, do your dynamic programming solution there, and then also do the upprinting into the output file. Don't use memoization, and make sure you are reading input from a file, input.txt. And because what will happen at the time of evaluation, we may give you this file or we may give you different data file, but it will be the same name. You should read that, do your dynamic programming, and then your program should print in a file output.txt that you don't have to submit. So you are not supposed to submit this. Only one file, the C program that you submit. But your code should write the output in the given form. Okay. So that is all your assignment for today. So make sure that you follow all the guidelines, and please write in comment what is your sub problem in the dynamic programming recurrence, and then you write the code and submit. Okay then.